Ooh. All right. It is Friday and we have a super mega clickbait alert here. A topic highly discussed in the FOMC minutes that we went over Wednesday. Tariffs in the United States. During the FOMC minute review, we noted that maybe the most important or biggest topic, one of the two, talked about in those meeting minutes was the effects of tariffs. They commented multiple times actually in the document saying that the effect of tariffs didn't meet their expectations, weren't as severe as they expected. Interestingly, this morning, the Supreme Court ruled that tariffs were not constitutional and that potentially the tariff money totaling about $150 billion may need to be returned. Now, if it is to be returned, it will be returned to U.S. importers because they're the only ones that pay tariffs. There have been many comments I've already seen saying, oh, we're going to send this money to other countries. That is never how it worked. Other countries never paid the tariffs directly. So they'll be going back to U.S. importers, not back to you and me, which I know it doesn't sound great, but we didn't directly pay them. It's a sticky situation. It's messy at best. There's no super easy or clear answer of what should be done here. Absolutely going to have impacts on the economy, on the U.S. in general. Putting that money back in importers' pockets, I'm not really sure will have a noticeable positive effect on us. I suppose you could say that maybe there'll be hiring due to that, more purchasing due to that, more imports. I don't know. We don't know. We're going to find out as we went. I think the idea that tariffs didn't have as big of an impact as the Fed expected likely suggests that returning the collected tariff revenue also probably not going to be as big of an impact as we expect. It's just probably going to be a very difficult thing to do. I don't think we really have the mechanics in place to do something like this smoothly or efficiently. And so, man, markets, you'd expect markets to respond to this today, and they really haven't. Bitcoin right where we left it, 67.7, literally nothing new going on there on this chart based on that. I think gold and silver actually having a little bit of a day here. Silver up 5%. Did this, when was this morning? Yeah. Silver up about 5%, not at the biggest swing here, but this is strength for silver right when it needs it. We've been talking about silver and its struggle since the sell-off from 122, I was about to say 122,000. It's been struggling, failing to break higher highs, and bulls failing to regain control of the chart. Somehow, I guess, silver is enjoying the tariff talk here as it is reapproaching last week's highs, hitting 82.7. Now, the number that I think we need to get to is unfortunately still 92. We need to see a higher high in this structure. We need to see that lead to more upside momentum. It's not quite there yet. Have we broken down? I think we may have broken down from the imminent structure here. Yeah, that's not so bad. Depending on where silver ends up today, that may actually age pretty well. Let me go to this more simplified chart. Here we go. There we are. A little simpler chart here. It has apparently escaped this downtrend this morning and is working its way back to 86. I guess we'll talk at 86. That's still not quite enough to get this out of trouble. I still don't think this looks great. However, it's moving up. That's good. We may see silver maybe trade to 86, look for a higher low, then make a test to that 92, meaning there may be a scalping short position somewhere around this high of 86. Maybe potentially a long about where today started, looking for a back test of that trend line. Interesting to see silver move here. I don't really have a narrative for that. Maybe it's just the charts knew. The charts were on their way, right? They're already in that direction. Gold, exactly where we left it and still doing exactly what we thought it would do. Gold being the performer here since the sell-off at the start of February. Gold continuing this bullish pattern of retesting resistance at about 5,100 and buyers coming in at higher lows. Gold looks solid for a retest of 5,600, even potentially in February. If it doesn't come by the end of February, March looks very good for that retest. Gold standing out as the biggest, I don't want to say winner because it hasn't really made upside progress, but showing the most momentum to the upside still. Remember, the more times that a chart tests resistance, this is true for support as well, the more times it tests it, the more eager price action tends to be to resolve that way, and the weaker that resistance becomes. So gold coming off of 1, 2, now potentially 3 higher, well, 2 higher lows, whatever. Coming back to 5,100. Honestly, I could see this closing up here. We still have a few hours of trading Friday. We'll see. We'll see where the world's at. Trump, we don't typically cover Trump's speeches because they are numerous and they are not always related to what we're doing, and we're not really a political channel. We don't really jump into that, but apparently Trump is making a remark on these tariffs. It was supposed to happen about a half an hour ago. He still isn't live. I do have it pulled up here, and maybe we will listen to that at least for as long as he's on the tariff topic. We'll cut him off if he starts straying, but still not live yet. Let me refresh this to doubly make sure. No, still not live yet. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on it. We'll watch it briefly. So gold, silver, Bitcoin. What else we got? Stocks. Every day I look at this chart, man. I feel as if maybe the top is coming, or at least the local top for the start of this year. Price reaching 7,000, and momentum just doesn't seem to be there. You know, we've long been looking at this level and saying this would be probably a perfect place to look for that healthy retracement back to 6,100, retest the previous year's high before its healthy little retracement there. And it's, we have no new evidence or no new real stuff on the chart here. It doesn't seem to have that momentum. It doesn't seem to have the energy, at least in this moment. I don't know, to break higher and look for maybe those 7,500 level. Surprisingly little reaction. This is maybe the biggest takeaway of today for me. The tariff ruling was massive, as in it has long-reaching effects. It is a big ruling. It's not, it's perhaps not really a surprising ruling, but it is a big ruling. The biggest surprise to me here is honestly that the Supreme Court actually ruled this way, ruled with the Constitution. Okay, I'm gonna put it out there. You can agree or disagree or hate me for saying this, doesn't really matter. But regardless, tariffs without congressional approval are unconstitutional. Pretty much any use or allocation of money is unconstitutional without Congress's approval. That's the Constitution. You can agree with it or disagree with it. I honestly don't give a shit. But it's not surprising because that is the ruling that should be made unless there's amendments to the Constitution or something like that. But it just doesn't seem as if the Supreme Court has really been ruling so much in that direction. That's a surprise to me, is that they actually came out and did it. Now, Trump did say he has, I don't know, he said something about they have to do something about the courts. I don't know. He says he has a backup plan, something. The problem is that pretty much no matter what you do, this is the checks and balances of the United States of America as are outlined by our governing documents, that the Congress controls the purse. Congress is the one who allocates money, and this is the check on the other branches, because the other branches shouldn't be able to do anything without funding. They shouldn't have the resources to kind of do things without the other branches' approval or without the other branches being watchdogs, whatever you want to call it. In the past, this has worked pretty well. Without this, Congress really doesn't serve much of a purpose. This is like largely the thing they do, is they allocate money. And I know we think, oh, they make laws. Yeah, they are the legislators. They do create legislation and laws, but their real power is that of controlling finance, controlling money. That's why when people point at the Fed and say the Fed is printing us into oblivion, no, bro, the Congress is printing us into oblivion, as they always have. they're the ones that control the money. So we're going to see how this plays out. I am curious, honestly. I rarely watch these speeches from Trump. I'm curious what he has to say. Obviously, he's not going to like this ruling. That's not a surprise. That's if there's a poly market, is Trump going to like this ruling? The answer is going to be no. But I have no idea what he's going to say outside of that, other than yelling about it. Maybe he's going to look for a different avenue. That is the problem, though, is what avenue can you take when you are not supposed to be able to allocate funds without congressional approval? I don't know. Maybe it'll be interesting. Maybe it'll be a big old nothing burger. That does seem to be, honestly, this whole year feels like nothing burgers, right? It's like things keep kind of happening and then don't. Wait, like whatever, but Venezuela, we just captured their president and now nobody talks about it. We were talking about Greenland, taking over Greenland. Now that's like in the rear view. This has all happened in the last month. And here we are now, I think, talking about war with Iran. Did you guys see on Twitter? Thomas Massie, one of my favorite conservative politicians, Thomas Massie did a poll of like, does the U.S. want to go to war with Iran? And it was like 80% yes with like a bajillion votes. And it's like, bro, how many real actual humans voted that? None. No, I don't think anyone even in this chat, no matter what your belief, I don't think anyone here is interested in going to war with Iran. Like why would we as American citizens? I know we're not all American citizens here, but why would we want to do that? We don't want war. We got problems here. We got way too many problems here. We do not need to be other places doing other things. That's my opinion. I think it is a very common opinion. I don't have too much new on the corn, but what new is there really to be had, right? At this point, Bitcoin is maybe perfectly following the fractal, and until proven otherwise, I'm just going to follow it. So what does that mean? Let's look into it, because this price action is uncanny. It is absolutely spooky how close to price action this fractal is to right now. Like, this is scary. I don't like it. But if we're going to look to play this, which is arguably probably a bad idea, but we'll look for it. Maybe I'll even take these positions. What we would be expecting is a failed high. And what's interesting or important about this is that the failed high does not bring us back to the previous low. And what I mean by that is the failed high, according to this fractal, does not make it back to November. November's low is at 80.5. There is a CME gap sitting around 81 to 84. It would logically make sense to fill that area. However, following this pattern, we will see that that does not happen here. It gets kind of close, but it does not make the full retest. Mind you, none of this has to play out. It just has been, and so we're going to follow it. And if we are going to say this is going to continue, I think what we could look for here is pretty easy, and that would be potentially a short position. Let's say a short position. I think your stop could be pretty tight. Basically using even that low from November. The low from November is at like the 80s. I have to expand it a little bit. Expand it up. Yep. 80.7. Nah, I prefer this with a tighter stop. I think a short potentially from 74.5, 74.6, targeting the next level down. I hate to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want Bitcoin to do this. I remain bullish, but price action, unfortunately, is not. Unfortunately, this is not bullish, so I don't want to look for a long. I think that this makes sense. I like this. Unfortunately, this short would bring us below the 200-week moving average. I think an even tighter scalp could also be played from the short side. 71. Let's do it like this. 71.5, 71.6. You really could still use the same target, but I think for a shorter scalp position that would be, I think it makes more sense for this to target the 200 week. Because the 200 week is very close to price, and the probability of just bouncing at all from the 200 week is pretty good. How's everybody doing today? How is your Friday? Just thankful this week is over. That's how I'm feeling. I still haven't found a damn house to move into. My mom's like, you should buy a house. I'm like, Mom, maybe. Maybe. But what do? I sell like my crypto assets now down like 50% to try to buy a house that, I don't know. I don't like the sound of that. Maybe this short, a more scalping position could be 71,000 looking to take profit at that 200-week 58.2, 58.3, something like that. You can get a nice 2.8 risk to reward there, the higher trade or the higher short. Even with that tighter stop loss, still almost a 5-to-1. How high can you go to get a 2? All the way up here. I don't like that. I don't like those green eggs and ham. I've been saying that a lot because Sam, I am. Here we are, stuck in Goblin Town, just praying on a wish and a prayer that Bitcoin just decides to just behave totally different, just do something totally different. Yeah, everybody's expecting a bear market. Wouldn't it be awesome if everybody was wrong? That would be awesome, Tom. Thank you. Thank you, myself, who I'm talking to. Interesting, but unsurprising, I guess. Fear and greed remains at levels just like unfucking heard of. Fear and greed is in the gutter. In the absolute gutter here. Still coming in at an 8. Single digits. Guys, this is, this indicator is not that useful. In the past, it has been. I think as a rule of thumb, this indicator is really decent to counter trade, but it is not the kind of holy grail it used to be. But when you see this down here, I think it is meaningful. The single digits is really extreme. We have now been at like a, let's say, 15 or lower on the fear and greed. Oh, here we go. The tariff talk is starting.
Wow.
Let's see.
That's a lot of people.
Is that a lot of people?
A new record. We set a record every time. Well, thank you very much for being here. The Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing, and I'm ashamed of certain members of the court, absolutely ashamed, for not having the courage to do what's right for our country. I'd like to thank and congratulate Justices Thomas, Alito, and Kavanaugh for their strength and wisdom and love of our country, which is right now very proud of those justices. When you read the dissenting opinions, there's no way that anyone can argue against them. There's no way. Foreign countries that have been ripping us off for years are ecstatic. They're so happy. And they're dancing in the streets, but they won't be dancing for long, that I can assure you. The Democrats on the court are thrilled, but they will automatically vote no. They're an automatic no, just like in Congress. They're an automatic no. They're against anything that makes America strong, healthy, and great again. They also are a, frankly, disgrace to our nation, those justices. They're an automatic no matter how good a case you have. It's a no. But you can't knock their loyalty. It's one thing you can do with some of our people. Others think they're being politically correct, which has happened before far too often with certain members of this court, and it's happened so often with this court. What a shame. Having to do with voting in particular, when in fact they're just being fools and lapdogs for the rhinos and the radical left Democrats, and not that this should have anything at all to do with it. They're very unpatriotic and disloyal to our Constitution. It's my opinion that the court has been swayed by foreign interests and a political movement that is far smaller than people would ever think. It's a small movement. I won by millions of votes. We won in a landslide.
What? I had missed that.
With all the cheating that went on, there was a lot of it. We still won in a landslide. Too big to rig. But these people are obnoxious, ignorant, and loud. They're very loud.
Virtually.
And I think certain justices are afraid of that. They don't want to do the right thing. They're afraid of it. This was an important case to me, more as a symbol of economic national security, and also, I would say, just for our country itself, so important, because we're doing so well as a country. We've never done so well. The good news is that there are methods, practices, statutes, and authorities, as recognized by the entire court in this terrible decision, and also as recognized by Congress, which they refer to, that are even stronger than the 𝐈EPA tariffs available to me as President of the United States. And in actuality, I was very modest in my ask of other countries and businesses because I wanted to do, and it's very important, I wanted to be very well behaved because I wanted to do anything, I didn't want to do anything that would affect the decision of the court, because I understand the court. I understand how they're very easily swayed.
Is he going to talk about the tariffs, though? He's just talking about like himself so far and how he feels about it.
Very effectively utilized tariffs over the past year to make America great again. Our stock market has just recently broken 50,000 on the Dow, and simultaneously, and even more amazingly, broken 7,000 on the S&P, two numbers that everybody thought upon our landslide election victory could not be attained. Think of that. Nobody thought it was possible to do it within 4 years, and we did it in 1 year.
Why would it not be possible?
They said you'll never be able. You'll go back and you read the geniuses, read their statements, all of the Nobel Prize winners in economics. They said, no, you couldn't do it in 4 years. Well, we didn't do it in 4 years. We did it in 1 year.
Why would it not be possible?
We broke every record in the book, and we're continuing to do so. Tariffs have likewise been used to end 5 of the 8 wars that I settled. I settled 8 wars, whether you like it or not, including India, Pakistan, big ones, nuclear, could have been nuclear.
What
Prime
wars?
Minister of Pakistan
all right, we
said
might turn this
yesterday
off.
at the great
He's
meeting
not talking
that we
about
had.
tariffs. He's literally just talking about himself.
He's
And
bored.
I'll be real, shit that didn't
He
happen.
said yesterday that President Trump could have saved 35 million lives by getting us to stop fighting. They were
Unfortunately,
getting ready
we're
to
good.
do some bad things.
I was really hoping he would actually talk about tariffs. He is not talking about tariffs. He is just talking about himself. I was hoping that we'd have something. Maybe in that entire speech we'll hear something. I don't know, but we're not going to listen to the whole thing. I was hoping that he would start off on topic and talk about tariffs. Or what was, what the plan was. He said there was a plan going forward. That's not where we were at. So we are going on. We're moving on. What can we look at today? What do we want to look at? Dollar at 98. The dollar gaining some strength still. Kind of right back to where it was. Peanut. Give him some bills. I mean, facts. He's so upset he's bright orange. That's funny. He big man. He is big man. ASML moving up. Moving up still. I think it's making a move into next week and or into the end of the month. You guys love this one. You love this one. You love it. It does look good. Others look so bad. Others is one of the most cursed charts. Look at this. Falling wedge. Baller. I mean, that's a good question, Angry Slip. Remember when we were building the ballroom? What is going on in this country? I don't understand. What is actually happening in this country? Something. Something's going on. Man, others look so cursed. How do these things not bounce, though? Next U.S. president is AOC. I hope not. I mean, I hope not. I'm not even gonna put. I'll say AOC. I like that. I don't think she's part of the awful Democratic Party. I'm sorry. The Democratic Party seems just as complacent and awful. But I do like that she is not really anyone that the parties don't like. I'm kind of cool with. Anyone that the GOP or the DNC doesn't like, I'm cool with. Like Bernie, love Bernie. Tell you what. Yeah, he shouldn't be president. I don't know who should be president next. I have no idea. Hopefully somebody who is not a party, not like a party line toter. We're never going to get, this country is just never going to honestly be great while we're like stuck on this. While we're stuck on like touting party lines. We need a rehaul. Remember when they said that if they prosecuted everybody in the Epstein files that like we would like not have a government, we just like wouldn't have enough people in the government to function? I think that's a great idea. Let's burn it down, strip it down, burn it down. That sounds awesome. We'll have some kind of like special election where we have to like re-elect everybody. Maybe everyone. Maybe that's what we should do. Maybe every seat should go up for election at the same time. We should have like one big vote. Get rid of all of them. I think that just sounds amazing. It sounds so good. Let's do that. But I feel like if they run AOC, they'll lose. That's the problem. It's clear they're going to run someone who sucks, though. So, yeah, who knows? Nothing has moved. Hunter Biden has run Hunter Biden. There you go. What's up, Paul? Me for prez? I'll take it. You guys can just make me the president. With all 500, 600 votes of us. Dude, just like nothing has moved since our last streams. Look at nat gas. Nat gas actually one of the craziest charts here. Natural gas was breaking out. Look how manipulated this is. Breaking out at the end of January, along with all the kind of metal stuff happening. And look at these weekly candles. Like, holy shit. Closed incredibly bullish. And then opened February, just in Goblin Town, opened 15% down into February. Closed 20, Jesus, tits. Natural gas has traded 43% down in February. What the actual fuck is happening in the world right now? What the actual fuck is happening in the world? Silver traded down like 40-something% more in like a day. Natural gas traded down almost the same in February, 44%. What is actually happening? I suppose in context, it's not as crazy as it sounds because it did even from December into January of this year, it traded 40% down. What is with this volatility though? I thought these things were supposed to be stable. 22. Okay. I mean, yeah, maybe it's not quite as crazy as it sounds. I don't look at it this often. From August of 22 to April of 23, in a year, it traded 81% down. What is happening in the world? I mean, it makes sense that seasonally this should, when it's hot out, we probably aren't using as much natural gas. And the northern hemisphere, where most people live, aren't using as much heat. Probably we should see that price move down, right? And then when it's cold, it should move up. But this seems a little crazy. Seems way too crazy. It went up 80%, then down 43%. Let's see, from March of 24. From March of 24, which I would have expected this to be like a pandemic, right? Like a pandemic low, almost of 2020. It's trading at $1.50. Traded at $6. It was up 255% from February in 2 years, from February of 24 to February of 26. It was up 255%. But I guess it really isn't that crazy. In the bigger picture. Well, maybe I take that back. So I say it's not as crazy as it sounds in the bigger picture, but at the same time, that would be looking at like the COVID crash low to somehow the bear market bottom, I don't know, August 22. Like from COVID's low to swing highs into 21 and 22, like that is not expected, but like pretty par. Like almost everything went up a few 100% from like the low of 2020 into like 21. But what is happening? I thought natural gas was supposed to be, remember all these things were supposed to be stable. Maybe natural gas was never one of them. I don't know. Commodities are not where I've spent all my time. But remember when like there were assets that were considered stable and low risk? Remember silver and gold? It's almost as if we've like forgotten this, right? I think it is. I think we have basically forgotten this. It was only at the end of last year, let's say Q4 of last year, and maybe H2, maybe the second half of last year. Before that, silver and gold were largely considered things that never moved, that didn't have volatility, that were safe from volatility. That has totally changed. We've seen a complete reversal in that, I'll say macro, maybe understanding of how markets work. Gold and silver, they're tried and true. They're trusted. You put some money into these things because they're the stable, non-moving. You're not going to get a big return, but they're going to protect you from downside. Well, these things don't really look like they're going to protect us from downside at this point, do they? It doesn't seem that way. It feels as if maybe even the safe haven narrative altogether is falling apart in mid to late 2020. The reason I say that is the markets have not crashed. Not yet. I do. The more I look at it, the more I think it looks toppy. All markets. And Bitcoin historically has led the way. But without even getting into that, stocks are around all-time high. They're not at all-time high. Dow, the SPX. These things are kind of, in my opinion, looking like distribution at a high. We're not crashed, yet gold and silver have made these phenomenal moves. And I think if the narrative of like safe havens, gold and silver, whatever, the safe haven narrative, if this were real and true, well, you probably would expect the top here to be during the crash. And the thing that like haunts me here is that if stocks top out, I don't think that gold and silver run then. I think that they've made their moves. They're so high up. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is gonna age poorly. That's always possible. I still don't have a case on it because I'm a badass. You didn't get scratched, did you? I got the first scratch on this like screen protectory thing I have. Good thing I have it. What was I saying? Yes, is they've made these massive moves, and the fact that they've already made these moves isn't really in alignment with like that safe haven narrative. Maybe it is, or you're saying, well, people ran into these assets because they were fleeing uncertainty, and that would make sense. But I struggle to imagine if we get a big event where markets crash, like remember COVID, like nothing did well. Everything went down simultaneously. It wasn't like gold and silver went up while everything crashed. No, when things really crash, it all goes down from just, cascading liquidations and panic selling. I don't know. I think that that's the narrative that people are jumping into now. And I think that it is probably misguided. Probably. I still think they can have room to run this year. I still think gold and silver can hit new all-time highs. Silver looking less likely. We'll see when gold does it. But I think that's if like we keep the potato pop. We keep the potato pop. We keep like the balloon up in the air. We keep the music playing. I think if things start crumbling, that it all probably goes down. And man, I really do want to say that you look back at Bitcoin's history and these big events, like Bitcoin tends to price them in first. It is just kind of odd that Bitcoin is down while stocks are up here. If stocks want to keep moving, if S&P wants to go up to the measured move, wants to hit like 7,500, I don't see that really happening while Bitcoin is trading down. I think that in that scenario, Bitcoin would be getting at least a dead cat bounce, maybe like sub 100, trending like 98. I don't know. Everything's backwards. Everything's backwards. We're still sideways. Hot potato of liquidity. Yep. When music stops, baby. Yeah. Speaking of music, I don't know if did anyone else continue watching the Trump announcement? I wonder if he said anything. I don't want to keep watching it. Talking about steel products. I guess that's relevant to tariffs. Maybe. Probably. Oh, look at this. I've never seen that before. Look at this. First of all, look, it's Wendy O. We love Wendy O. I love you, Wendy. I miss Wendy. Look at that. I've never seen this before, though. I see this randomly on other people's streams and stuff. Look, YouTube featured. Are we featured right now? Are you coming on in because we're featured? Welcome. That's crazy. There's me. And look, there's me pointing at stuff. And yeah, I don't know. I've never seen that. I've seen that. Know what it always does? For me, YouTube featured, it always shows it for Eric Crown. I don't know why. Just always does. Just seems to be maybe what YouTube thinks I want to watch. And I'd agree, because that guy, he's got gumption. He's got gumption. I don't know what gumption means. I just like Eric. He's a good dude. Hold up. Back. I'm going to refresh the chat. We've only been live for 36 minutes. Feels like much longer. We've done so much. So much. We haven't done anything. We've done nothing. Go Silver, go. He took credit and bragged for the Dow. I can't, like, the fact, that whole thing when Pam Bondi was yelling about 50,000, like, that is so top. That is, like, just so toppy of just every market I've ever seen. When someone's, like, yelling about the number, like, I don't know, every time it seems to be the top. I can't imagine it not actually retracing. Like, maybe we have more all-time highs into the year, but, like, I can't imagine it. Can't imagine it not retracing a little bit here after that. It's just, you're not allowed to in markets say things that confidently. Like, every time you do, it's always the wrong move. You can't be confident. You can't brag about it. It's like screenshotting a position, right? Every time you screenshot it, it's over. You're done. It's the same thing. You stop watching to be here. What's up, OBSY? What did they say? Can you update us? What valuable info did Trump give us? He was going to use other means to wage trade wars. So did he say what? So I was saying, what's up, Foxy, by the way? Good to see you, man. What I was saying in the beginning is there doesn't, I don't know everything in the world, but it doesn't appear that there is other avenues that would be more constitutional. When you're dealing with matters of money, that is the Congress, that's their job. That's what they do. They do the money. So if you want to allocate money or you want to charge money, collect money, you spend money, you got to go through them. And I mean, the real thing is you just get Congress to approve them. You just get Congress to say, yeah, we can do these. That's how you do it. And you do it totally constitutionally. You're going to fight the world one-handed. Trump vows stronger tariffs. He said, you know what? We're going to make even more tariffs. Let's just tariff everybody. Remember when we were just going to tariff everyone? Let's just tariff them all. 100,000%. Why is BlackBerry making breathing machine tubes? I don't know, but BlackBerry, who owns a BlackBerry anymore? I feel as if maybe they're looking for other avenues of income. Much like many of us. We're going to be starting the OnlyFans soon, because what else are we going to do? What else could we possibly do here? We could play music. Shall we play music? I did. You know what? I did. Ooh, sorry if that really was loud. It's Friday.
Welcome Welcome, friend.
Welcome, friend. Welcome.
Sometimes the most interesting journeys are a side quest.
Our side quest. Oh, take me back to Lost Lands. It's been too long. I need to go to another festival. Where are we going this year, fam? Chat, where are we going? Tips for an entry, please. PM on what? Quicker, you still have your old BlackBerry in a box, you miss it. Remember when BlackBerries were the thing? It was like BlackBerries were the iPhones, and then iPhones became the iPhones. What is 09A? I have no idea. Can't get Congress to agree on anything. That's a problem. That is true. That is true. Test other means like embargoes. I mean, if sure. Sounds though like the other means are going to be military, like war, which is actually what the power they have. I don't know, man. Just I don't. I'm related to any of this. I feel like if you live in the United States right now, and if you don't live in the United States, you probably see this happening. But if you live in the United States, I think the United States needs to like be single for a while. We have been dating around, and we've been dating not the right people. And I feel like maybe we got to take a few years and like hit the gym, start eating healthy, maybe join some clubs, get some like activities in our lives. We really got to like focus on us for a bit. I think the energy and resources expended elsewhere in the world, it's just not playing. It's not playing with us. It's not working for us. If Bitcoin were to make that move last second, you'd short it hard and think that would be the top for everything. I mean, you look back at Bitcoin, it's been pretty good at calling tops. Am I playing games these days, Castor? Yeah. Oh, hey. I opened up Overwatch for a little bit again because they like redid the whole thing, but it was so janky. There was like so many problems that I didn't really play much. Still playing some Arc Raiders, but I've kind of like stopped playing the actual game of Arc Raiders. I've just been doing Stella Montis, free kits and occasionally kits, and just going in and treating it like a COD lobby. Like I'm not like even looting. I'm just like going in there with my anvil. I'm like plop, 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 just blasting people, giving back the loot. I've been as like spring comes, I'm trying to gear myself away from playing as many games. It was a really brutal winter. Being outside was not that fun, and there wasn't that much to do. Hopefully that's wrapping up, and I've been using it as an excuse to be lazy. But man, I got some big changes in my life coming very soon. I got to figure out where I'm moving to in April. I only have like a month left. Valheim, what's that? Check your comment above that one. What was that? Lost gun. I did. Oh, before that. If Bitcoin were to keep tracking with the SPX, it hasn't been tracking with the SPX. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. It'd be at the 2618 extension right now at 150K. Eh? I don't doubt it. Let me see something. So this is the move. The one kind of only reason from a chart perspective that I'm looking for a top on the SPX. This is like really the only reason. I'm gonna move all this shit over. The only reason, I'll leave that one, is these extensions. These extensions are looking for it. Actually, is this one here? Forget. Yeah. So looking at that February, April sell-off in 25 last year, brought right to the 1618 on the log chart. It's also the 2618, like you said, on the 21 high to 22 low. That's like really the only reason I'm looking for a top here. And if the top is not here on the SPX, I have like tradable confidence here that a short is a valuable tool on the SPX right now. But if this doesn't play, if this short doesn't play, it's just under 7,500, 7,400, just before front running, I have very, very good confidence. Like this is the perfect confluence for this. I'm getting a little off topic, but talking about these extensions. So I was looking for a top there. Bitcoin has failed these extensions. So let's look at these. So we look at January, February into April's low. We'd be looking at the 1618, I believe. Right? Is that correct? 1618. So basically, had Bitcoin tracked just based on this one, so we'll look farther back, it would be at about 138, 140. If we look at the bigger extension, I think this is where the number is going to pump quite a bit higher. We're at the 1618. Where are we here? Well, if Bitcoin had tracked since 21, the low, 2618, Bitcoin would actually be at silly numbers. If we looked at that, like silly numbers, a bajillion, 700,000. If we were in line with the SPX extension there on the log chart, we would be at some silly numbers. Silly. The closer one though, like 140. It's interesting because we're beyond 50% down from there. I wish. The US totally needs to focus on self, dude. We've been trying to solve everybody else's problems. It's really like an analogy. I bet you guys are like me in that sense. I bet for a lot of your life, you really put energy, and maybe you still are. You put energy towards helping other people with their problems, fixing their problems. It's because you're a good person, like I believe everyone really is at their core when they have the ability to feel secure and safe and have their needs met. We want to help other people because it makes us feel good. It's still selfish. But it hasn't served us really well, especially not over the last few years. I think we all need to take a little step back and help our own problems. Figure our own shit out, because if you don't have your own house in order, you really can't help others. Once your house is in order, you can help others. But until then, your everything you try to do is going to be held back by it. Let's draw this line like this. I like it like this. Just cruising down the lane. Whoa, I missed chat refresh. You've been playing the Ark? Exactly. I gotta say, man, Ark is a great game. I think that they're even gonna have like scientific studies based on like altruism and how people treat each other in that game, which is cool. It's definitely gonna. I guess it did win Game of the Year, right? Or did it come out this year? I don't remember. Anyway, but they didn't design the end game well. There's nothing to do. Like I did the expedition. I'm already done with the next expedition. There's nothing to do. And like gear isn't good. They're really bad at rewarding playing behavior. That's their weakness. They don't know how to reward the player. Their quests are stupid. Like the quests are done. You do them once. Why would you ever want to do them again? You get no reward. It's not worth it. The little bonuses and stuff they give you are just like never very good. It's just like never meaningful. They need to learn how to reward the player and how to create the end game. Their better guns don't do much. Like you get like a legendary gun, or you craft it maybe, and all it's good at doing is taking down the big, the queen matriarch. And all that happens is you take it down, you get the materials to craft those. But like they're not good at killing people. They're not like useful. They just make you a target. Anyway, I'm getting too far into it. Play the finals. What's that? Oh yeah, they tried to get us to play that. They gave us like a skin if we'd play it. What is the finals, Tony? Come to Colorado tomorrow? All right, let's go. What are we doing in Colorado tomorrow? Tom would love the music in the snack pit at the Indy 500, would I? First time he came to the channel. What's up, Sweet Cash Yop? I don't know if you're still here. I'll give you a salute. First time here, welcome. We are apparently featured on YouTube right now for some reason. Everwild Fest in Columbus, Ohio. Ooh. We pumping Web3 now. What's up, Nemo? You're back. What's up, GT Nuts? Yo, I see Valheim. A bunch of people in here playing Valheim. Maybe you guys got to link up. Maybe we'll start like start a guild. I don't know what they have in that game. Jump in the Discord, discord.gg/TomCrown. What is Valheim? Solved other people's problems, profited from the dollar being the primary global reserve currency for decades. More like, I mean, amen, yeah. Also solving other people's problems, but does not feel. Maybe that's just me. Let's start on. We only have 300 votes. 54%, guys. 54% of you. I'm gonna say you're wrong. You're not right. It's not constitutional. And literally, the Supreme Court said it's not constitutional. So it's like literally not constitutional, like by any measure. You can say that you like them. You can say that you think they're good. You can say that you think Trump should have the power to do them. Those are all fine statements, but to say it's constitutional doesn't make sense. It's literally not, but that's okay. I still love you guys. Come to ETH Denver. I've never been to the ETH Denver event. I honestly don't even know if I'm going to go to the Bitcoin conference this year. I did give you the guys that link last year after I went, and all of you were able to get free tickets for this year. It was crazy. I already have a free ticket. I don't know if I'm going to go. I think also, though, that it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this year, and I think that Wednesday in April is the last FOMC with ''𝐿. So, like, I'm not going to miss that. Also, I just didn't find value last year. In years prior, I have felt value there. A lot of community, especially wise. But last year, bro, I had to like fight with them to even get a free ticket. I know I'm not like some crazy famous person or something, but like, honestly, I felt like slighted by them. Like I felt like, I don't know. I felt, at least because I've worked with them for years, I expected maybe just like some kind of cordialness, you know? I don't know. We'll see. And it's in Vegas. You guys know how I feel about Vegas. All right. I'm so far behind in the chat. October 10th, it did doom us. Love the title of the stream, Gasper. Well, we are, you know, if anything, we are honest. Deceiving you guys is not really in your favor. 𝐂𝐴𝐺 Tom, you asked in the beginning of the stream what the actual F is happening in the world. Answer, the fourth turning. The fourth turning. What does that refer to? God, I hope it's not something that I regret saying out loud. 80-year cycle. Oh, okay. Cyclical, historical. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. The universe, you know, like charts, trading, we see it all the time. The universe, charts are an expression of data. Data is the foundation of the universe. And so charts tend to behave cyclically. I think that's the safest, best way to put it. Bitcoin actually does look like it wants to break up here a little bit. A little bit. But perhaps we were just at the footsteps of the next big thing. Yay. Yay. I know my fellow millennials and Gen Xers are real excited to face yet again more bullshit in our lives. The most bullshitted generations. God, we've gotten such bullshit. Scammed. We've just gotten scammed. Dude's literally no chart is moving. I think MicroStrategy somehow is going to trade higher. We did. Look for the $100 trade. 170 seems so high, but maybe. I don't know. That's where we thought. That's where I thought it was going to go. We didn't actually hit 100. We hit 104. Yeah, 130. I mean, it's a bear flag, but I would put my money on moving down here on the inverted chart. Looking at the linear 218, that's why it's different. Okay, let me refresh it. I missed a bunch. Satoshi Wizard, you just found me. And you're happy to subscribe. Welcome, brother. Got my attention. I don't know how. YouTube is somehow favoring this stream. I don't know. I don't know why, but I like it. Welcome, brothers. Welcome to all the new people. Is anyone new here? Could you bring back up the SPX Bitcoin extension trust back up? 2021 high, 22 low. linear charts, because it's, well, I have all my shit on log when it comes to Bitcoin. That's why our numbers are different. You want to see what they are on non, you want to see what they are linear? Okay. Wait. Fib based on log, nope. Let's see. Got to turn them off log. This is a little pro life tip. If you're trading, open up your fib and make sure, if you're using a logarithmic chart like I do, make sure this is enabled, fibs based on log scale. If you're using a linear chart, make sure that's not selected. I know it's very difficult. Here we go. Oh, son of a bitch. I see what you're going for here. Son of a bitch. You know what really, really sucks? Is the linear measured move for Bitcoin called the fucking top. Goddamn. 122. No, it's weird, as that's where silver topped out. 122. The linear 2 fib extension gave us 122. SPX is trading at 2618, so if it were to have followed 155. Yeah, 155. There you are. That's where we would be had we continued to, I don't know what the word is. It's not correlated. Correlation isn't the word, I don't think. But if we had continued to move with stock market, maybe move with 155. Yeah, your numbers are right. There we go. Undid it. What's up, Jacko? Number 9303. What's up, brother? Welcome. See you subscribed. What's Stone saying? Congress will pass a bill. That's the constitutional way to do it. Something like that. We were never getting a stim check, bro. Does anyone really think we were ever getting a stim check? We were never getting a stim check. Ooh, Stymie, Snake Pit, Indy 500. Wait, so is it at the Indy 500? I don't really want to go to the Indy 500. Oh, at the event, or at the location. Zed, Crank That, Wooly, Murph, dude, absolutely. I would rock. I would rock to that. Chatbots rule. That's why everything seems so PC. Chatbots do rule the internet. The Fourth Turning is a book. Is it about cyclical cycles of markets? What's up, Stevie? Orbital rings? What the hell are you talking about? Definitely new. What's up at Digital Asset DJ? I know you're new. Pickle, my guy, happy Friday. BCH holding up so much better than Bitcoin because it's not compromised by institutions. Sure, I guess. I mean, yeah, I guess. I think BCH looks like it has a short-term, has some short-term upside. I think it's a bullish-looking chart. I mean, it's kind of a you gotta admit though, it's kind of a crazy comment though. Like to say it's held up so much better. I mean, you're down 95% against Bitcoin since April of 2018. I mean, I'm all for this. 188% off your all-time low. I'm all for it. I think it's one of the most bullish. I've been saying that for months. One of the most bullish charts in crypto. Short term. I don't know. I think if you're expecting this to blast all-time high, I think you're probably going to be waiting with all the other coins. We have and had looked for some longs at 500. I was calling for 1,000 before everything broke down. I would love to see a run. I don't know though, to make a statement of it kind of grandurely doing better than Bitcoin is largely not reality, I guess. Not reality. If you look at just this, then yes. Here you go. Since February, for the last year, well, I will say that I'll concede. Been a year. It has outpaced Bitcoin for a year. I didn't expect it to be that long. For a year. You just gotta live in, reality though. Yeah. It's been 375 weeks where it just bled. And I'm gonna be real with you, nothing even to do with BCH, just to do with the crypto market, man. This is probably its bigger picture. You know, it's probably gonna find some kind of high against Bitcoin and then continue this. Like, that's what we've seen on literally everything. Literally everything. It's just hard to say. It's hard to say. I don't know. Only Hopium would disagree. What's up, TRB? What's up, Alexandra? SAR gold up or down? Gold? I think up. I think up. I think gold has upside. I think like into February end is like reasonable, but you know, markets are rarely reasonable. I think gold is going to retest 5100. Could very likely mosey around into the end of February. Another higher low. I think you make a run. I think you break 5100. I think you finally overtake this resistance. I think you flip it to support, you test it, and you move back up. If you break down from this, I'll go as far to say if gold trades under 48.50, not looking so hot. But so far, let's hold here. Let's retest 51. Let's continue our favorite little pattern, and let's look for the retest of the all-time high. These markets aren't moving at all. What's up? What's up? He's a final boss guy. I need a haircut, Joe. Maybe. I need a haircut, bro. I've just had so much shit going on, you know? Like, I've just had so much with moving. Like, everything's slipping. That same 2618 on Litecoin probably take us to the moon. What's up, Elia? Constitutional rights and legal rights are not the same. Constitution grants us rights. The Constitution grants us rights. The law does not grant us rights. The law takes away rights, basically. Carves out rights. You're like a render. What's like a render? What's my analysis on Bitcoin? Shit's cooked, son. I mean, I think into maybe this weekend we float up a little bit. I think almost every rally should be sold, unfortunately, on Bitcoin. I hate to say it. I don't like doing it. But yeah. I mean, I'm always bullish. Long term, Bitcoin can't be more bullish. I don't think anything has changed fundamentally in that sense. Did our long fill? God, you snaked us at freaking 65.6 too. Dude, Bitcoin is just like avoiding all positions. Anytime we put a position down, it's just been like avoiding it. I mean, potentially for a long from 65.5, cutting it short 74, maybe lower. Looking for a short at 84. If we get a big rally next week and hits 84, I'm taking a short. Stop above right here. Low leverage. But my lord, nothing looks good. The only thing that looks good about Bitcoin right now is simply how far down it's been pulled with very little bounce. It's almost like a, counterintuitive good is that it just tends to bounce after it's been that pulled down this hard and this far. You look back at 2022 and it didn't. We're right about here. We're right in this area for the if we're repeating 2022's price action. We're right here. In fact, you place it over, if you superimpose 2022's price action over current price action, We're right at the exact same point, which is almost unbelievable. It's like unbelievable how similar it is. Based on this, if this is repeating, I'm looking for a short 74.6. Could look to ride that down a whole leg. All the way down to like 48K. Could look for maybe a little more aggressive short 71. Probably only play that to like the 200 week at 58K then. Unfortunately, this is it. I don't know. Bitch don't want to move. Trying to trade palladium gold pair, Danny. That's interesting. Our rights are God-given. They're not given to us by our government. Yeah. They're protected by our government, or they're supposed to be. Because there's many places that do not. Do not respect those God-given rights. Arby's. Oh, yeah. TNDM Echo Leaf. What's that? Hoverment. Scarce. What? Did you see the news about Texas and dropping on the 6th of March? TX. Tokenized stocks and not synthetic. I don't know what a tokenized synthetic asset would be. Like one that doesn't actually have, it isn't backed by it. What is it? What is TX though? I mean, that doesn't sound like something that will really do much in the market. But still curious. Might be interesting. Federalist Papers. Yeah, that is also why I did intentionally say at one point during this, our founding documents, there's more than just the Constitution. Bitcoin rallies to 90K and we inverse head and shoulders and blast off. I wish, bro. That'd be cool. I mean, I haven't sold spot. I largely am just eating this. Eating it. Unfortunately, I don't think 90K really gets us anywhere. Like if we were to move up, if you want to like paint an inverse head and shoulders, we would likely have to trade like all the way back to like 98. 98, just under 100, and then hold a low. Like 98, hold a low. We're a bunch of steps away, unfortunately. I just hate how freaking spot on this fractal is though, man. The fractal is saying like not only are we due for like a touch of 40 or 74, like a bounce, but that it should be like very soon. Very soon. We have been in this all month since the 5th of February. 15 days we have been right here. Every time we go live. What's up, Oozers? How you doing, bro? They took her gerbs. They did. We getting into some deep stuff here on Friday. What's up, Ed Mouse? 𝐒𝐶 Ondo offers no rent. Okay, so you're buying a tokenized version of something, and you're not even getting all the value. Like you don't have dividends or voting rights. It sounds like you're buying paper gold, and it sounds like you're buying paper Bitcoin. It's like you're getting something that is you're trusting is going to be pegged to the value, but doesn't hold the full value, which I think is long term, just logically not a great bet. Certainly those assets, those tokens and things can be used to trade volatility on those assets, but they're fundamentally less valuable, right? Been like this since October. It hasn't. I mean, there was some very interesting times since October. Like January right here, while silver and gold were exploding. This was some shit. But we have seen this like pretty much exact price action for the most part. 2-3 months right here. Tokenized 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐫𝐭. AI gap under trend lines from peaks. What are you talking about, Steve? XMR chart? I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at it. Pump biddy one more time. I know. Come on. We all just need one more pump, please. You know what's funny is Monero's still not that far. It's not that far from my purchase. Looks like it hit 275. This looks like shit. It does look though, I'll say, like kind of moved to 420. However this plays out. Move to 420 and then rejecting from 420. Like a lower high here. If the market really wants to roll over. We did good though, guys. We did good. We caught the longs. We called it going to all-time high, which was crazy against the grain. Just didn't last. I did sell some. You saw me sell some of this position at 750. Caught a little bitty of the top. Felt terrible. Weekend rally. I think we're gonna float up this weekend. I don't think we're gonna have like a crash this weekend. Make clickbait great again. That's what we're doing, bro. We're bringing it back. You know, we're bringing it back. 84K still under trend line. Okay. Let's see. I think most things are under the trend line still. Yeah. Yeah, we got some time. Not the most time, but we got some time. Looks like March. Midway through March. 95K is not. Right about here. Can we pump it one more time, please? Oh, we will. Weekend rally. Yeah, weekend. I don't know. I'm not feeling like, when I say weekend rally, I'm not like, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be like explosive big move, but like, I think we're going to float up. If we do rally this weekend, like I said, like 74, like I don't know. I feel like we end up getting a fake out. I'll see. I would like it to continue. Hold the line. What's up, 𝐸Prom? We were just talking about ARK. Your delusional reality, Monero's #1 market cap. Let's do it. I'm there with it. We need you back on the DCA show on Monday. I was invited one time. I thought I did. I thought I did a good job. I was never invited back. I messaged him. I messaged James, and I was like, "Yeah, man." I like more than once since then. I was like, "Yeah, dude, love to be back on." I don't know. Yeah, it's because I'm not an Elon Musk fan. I know he's a big Elon Musk fan. Negative Nancy. I know I'm being negative Nancy. New conditioner, yeah. VVVV. Gold. Everybody's tuning in for gold today. Gold, I think, is the most bullish of the charts. Send me a tweet of the snake pit. I'll check it out. Check it out, Paul. Yeah, I mean, I think gold is moving up. Maybe it's got to do this first. Maybe not. Probably this. Only hype. That's right. Let's check out where our moving averages are for gold. I haven't looked at them in a while. Still above the 20. Still hella bully. Even the 100 days is just at the low of February. It's like just now testing it. The 20 week is just so far behind you still. It's crazy. It's crazy, dude. When did gold even test the 20 week? The last time was February. It was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, gold tested its 20 week moving average. It has not touched it since. Lucky bastards. Oh, wait, you know, I might have to take that back. I take that back. Somehow this got changed to 25 instead of 20. It has. Alright, it has. Let's see where the 20 is. But solid support this entire rally. Gold tests the 20, it bounces. Tests the 20, it bounces. 20 top band. 20 top band. The 20 now sits, yeah, roughly still right here. 4,400. I think it is reasonable. Damn, it missed here, though. I say it's reasonable. Gold does retrace to look for a long there at the 20 week. I don't think it's going to retrace. I think it's going to set a new high before it retraces. I love gold, silver and gold. Silver and gold. Yeah, silver has been making moves today, but it broke this downtrend. That's awesome. That's great. I'm just skeptical till it hits a high, you know what I mean? Like, you have a higher low for now. But I've set the same criteria, you know, since here maybe. The same criteria is we got to hit 92. We got to see what happens here. This is a start. It was good. You know, we'll see what happens at 86. But, like, this is promising. But you're still, in my opinion, you're still in this downtrend. You can test 86. You know, you can do something like this. You can bump run this trend line. The only thing you don't want to do is to see this trend line tested and then like no bids. Because then you're just looking flaggy. I find silver to be less bullish than gold until it can test or break 92 till proven otherwise. But it is looking better than it has been. Like from Wednesday on, this chart did start moving up. It was looking very bad here. Like on Tuesday, this was looking like shit. It was looking like death. It is out of death zone. Doesn't look like death, but it still doesn't look great, in my opinion. Why are these on 25? 20 weeks right here. Should be tumbling. Damn, that was a perfect test of the 20 week. Pretty much. Reality is just nothing. No, just markets don't seem to give a shit today. It's all sideways. Oh, look at IPO. Klarna. What's the ticker? What's the ticker? Pickle. Pickle, what's the tickler? The volume is higher. For what? VVV. What is VVV? Pickle, what's the ticker? Valvoline? VVV Sports Valvoline? And then there's VVV Crypto. Do you eat gold? Of course you do. Have you ever had Goldschlager? Randy, is that which VVV? VV $ is not helping. It did not help. Any gold entry? I think honestly, gold entry is like. I think you look for long and you stop below 48. Not financial advice. Clar? What is Clar? Klarma. VVV is some new S coin. Looks like Clar's some kind of new S coin. This hasn't been around so long. This is, what is this? This is cooked. You're cooked, bro. This is yeah, I guess you said IPO. Just as almost every IPO does. Whether it starts off this way or not, they all just seem to be scams. What's up, Nino? Subscribe and welcome, brother. Send this to 0, I suppose. What is this garbage? Red and white icon. Red and white icon. Is it a crypto or not? Rolling doobies up. Sorry, that's not bad. I mean, this is interesting, right? High, higher low, higher high. Now maybe even a little here. Watch me word. Harness Dutch and that looks cooked. Buy now, pay later. Oh, yeah. Defaults are the one bullish chart would be defaults. People are very, very bullish on defaulting. I would still be looking for a higher low again. They call me, they call me, they call me. Make that ass drop. I love this song. They call me a diva. This is cool. It's cool. Not a lot of history. You know, we see some charts. Actually, there's a year. I'll take that back. I thought there was less than that. There's a year. Short term. Yeah, it does look good short term. Lower high, higher low, higher high. You've potentially created a neckline here at like $5, $4.73. If this doesn't pull back, then I think you look for this. You got some bad div here. You really got some weird div. It's not there on the week. That's good. All right. Well, I guess we'll put alerts on here. We'll see what happens, right? Where are from? What's up, Kesh? Negative funding rate. What do we got? Do we have negative funding rate still, or not still? Do we have negative funding rate at all? I don't even like reps. Positive on Bitcoin. Oh wait, 𝐒𝐈𝐆𝐍. It's crazy that Bitcoin still has positive funding rates. Crazy. Who is longing it? I mean, it is positive, but it's under neutral, so I mean, it's like very incredibly slowly, maybe setting up for a squeeze incredibly. At the speed of snail. Been live an hour and a half. It's Friday. Have you guys signed up for BY, DeFi, or FEMX yet? The links are in the video description below. You can sign up with them anywhere in the world. Doesn't matter. If you sign up with them, not only will you help support the channel and not cost yourself anything, you will get our VIP roles in the Discord, discord.gg/TomCrown. That's right. AI is a buzzword. Are my buttons not working? No, my buttons haven't been working. Weird. Can't put the link. You'll get VIP roles in there. You should join it either way, even if you don't sign up, but you should help support the stream. We're going to be live again on Monday, unless something very spicy happens over this weekend. We'll be live. I expect likely very like a slow climb on Bitcoin over the weekend. If we do see any kind of pump, looking for maybe 74,000. Potentially a short hedge position. I might take it. That could happen. Not this weekend though. Stay cool. It's supposed to snow again, maybe on the East Coast. We'll see. Predictions are anywhere from like 1 inch to 2 feet. So hopefully not 2 feet again. I'm done with snow. I think this weekend it will be safe to have some fun. Go out with your friends. That's what I want to do. I want to see everybody's around me. Have some drinks. Maybe play some games. Enjoy yourselves. We're all here together. It's all moving really, really slow. But we're going to be here. Trust. Make sure you're subscribed and liked. Keep your eyes peeled for the next episode of the Tom Crown Crew. We're going to be blasting that Grizz, baby. Yeah, that's all.